Be very careful, because if this is not your style, then all of a sudden adopting it because you think everyone else is doing it is going to backfire against you. Well, welcome to Legal Marketing Minutes, where I share short bursts of current marketing news and advice. I'm your host, Nancy Myrland. We haven't met. I'm sorry about that. I'm a marketing, business development, content, social, and digital media speaker, trainer, and advisor for lawyers and legal marketers. Your time is valuable, so let's get started, okay? Well, lately I have seen some people produce content that has them jumping at the camera and using bigger sounds and more drama in their audio. And I am all for adding one's personality to whatever the content is. If it's in writing, we have the added responsibility of putting our personality into it so that it punches a little bit and so that people can feel us when they're reading our words, or they can picture us, or they're not bored, basically. And then in audio, yes, we do have to use a little bit more inflection, or there are some of us who are just a little bit more dramatic when we speak, or dramatic isn't even a good word, but we tend to use a little bit more personality when we speak anyhow, so we don't have to worry about that. But then there's video, and what I'm seeing lately really concerns me, and this isn't with everybody, but I think this comes from people watching Gary Vaynerchuk, who you all probably have heard of at some point and have varying degrees of familiarity with him. Gary can be pretty animated. He can also be really low key, but he and other videographers, video producers have a lot of tricks up their sleeves, and they jump at the camera, and they all of a sudden use really elevated motions and sounds, and they have to make it sound like, oh my gosh, everything is the best and the greatest, and I'm going to do a jump cut here, and I'm going to do a jump cut there. And jump cuts are really interesting. If you don't know what a jump cut is, you'll know it when you see it. All of a sudden, you're in the middle of a video, and the video stops really quick and it jumps to the person's next motion. And I've seen a couple people who I know well who use this very well, but I'm also seeing some people trying to copy some of these practices. And you know what the problem is? It's not them at all. It's not them at all. And I click on one of their videos or one of their messages, and I last about 2 or 3 seconds and I'm gone, if I even open it, because they've begun to get a reputation for being overly dramatic and over the top. And I'm just a person that has a real hard time with people not being themselves or not being authentic. And I know when we're producing something like audio or video and even writing, we sort of get into the mode of, oh, okay, we have to deliver something a little bit more than what we normally would in regular conversation because we're in this marketing mode. But we have to, with practice, of course, get to the point where we really are just being ourselves and letting our personalities shine, letting our personalities enter the conversation, using inflection when we normally would. And if we don't use any inflection, of course, find a way to work it in naturally or work with someone who can help you do that. But friends, my caution to you is watch those people who are doing those things authentically and where it seems natural, and be very careful of trying to emulate those who are doing it unnaturally and jumping through the microphone or jumping through the camera, because this can really hurt you in the long run. Because if it's not your personality, then nobody's going to listen or read or watch. And what have you accomplished? Well, absolutely nothing but turning people away. All right, that's it for today's Legal Marketing Minutes. Have you seen anybody or heard anybody or read anything from anybody that has done this? I would love to know. You don't have to name them by names, but please tell me when you have seen this or some examples and how it makes you feel. I would be really curious to hear from you. Do me a favor and let me know your thoughts. Just leave a comment. If you're on a platform where you can leave a comment, please do so. And you can always find me on my blog at myrlandmarketing.com, which is MYRLAND marketing.com. Well, thank you so much for spending a few Legal Marketing Minutes with me. I know your time is valuable, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much for spending a few of those minutes right here with me. Until next time, I'm Nancy Myrland. Take care.